in addition to the widespread pandemic of don't shoot, it like exponentially ramps up at the very end of the movie. It kind of feels like they wanted more Captain Marvel scenes, but they just ran out of time. They needed to tell you how cool Captain Marvel was, but they just ran out of time. So, what I'm referring to, if you watch Captain Marvel, I'm pretty sure you already know where I'm going with this. Captain Marvel kind of unlocks more of her powers. That makes sense. In the space station after kind of getting captured. It's a cool moment. No one shoots her. She defeats all the bad guys. Then they go crashing down to Earth. Fight on Earth. And then after the fight on Earth, ooh, I forgot his name. Ooh, damn, that hurts. The guy who wanted the Power Stone in Guardians of the Galaxy. I think his name started with a K. Oh well, that guy shows up with his fleet of spaceships. He's coming to kind of like wipe out Earth because the Kree called for backup. So Captain Marvel, seeing this, just flies up to space and just wipes out the whole fleet. She'd been training with Goku. This is like worse than Super Saiyan 3 in terms of power-ups. The idea that she's not struggling, but she actually has to put in effort to fight 4 or 5 randos from Kree civilization, and then just all of a sudden, not only knows how, but is completely competent at wiping out an entire fleet of spaceships. It's a bit too much for me to handle, and I pinpointed the reason why. There's very little humbling scenes in this movie. So back to the reviews I watched of this movie when it kind of came out. That is a point that they made, that this character seems like a Mary Sue. I hadn't watched the movie at the time, so I didn't know what they mean. I wouldn't say she's a Mary Sue, but I can kind of see what they're getting at. This character just doesn't lose. Captain America got surrounded and beat up a little bit. Just a tad bit. Just a little bit. He gets punched quite a bit, and he gets surrounded. He loses at times. There might be like one scene where Captain Marvel ever loses anything. Actually, 2 scenes. One of them is towards the very beginning. Actually, no, she won that one. There's probably like 2 scenes in this movie where Captain Marvel ever actually loses anything. You know what it is? It's not even that she doesn't. She probably loses about the same amount of times as Captain America does. It's just she doesn't struggle much. Or actually, no, she doesn't lose as much as Captain America. Steve Rogers. She doesn't lose as much as Steve Rogers. Because fucking Steve Rogers lost his best friend. Literally his best friend. Well, lost. I know a little bit about what happened. I do some wiki skimming. They call me Skim Shady on these streets. I'm a little bit hip to the knowledge. Steve Rogers actually loses his best friend, whereas Captain Marvel, most of the things that happens are just gains, big gains too. She gains a best friend. Anyway, you get what I'm getting at, right? What's even worse is that this happens towards the end of the movie. So the suspension of disbelief is kind of like, it's like middling, and it's kind of creeping up, and then it really starts creeping up, and then it just shoots. Also, she gets a Super Saiyan power up without the Super Saiyan challenge. Well, okay, she gets 2 of them. One of them, she actually does go through the Super Saiyan challenge. But the second one, it could be the same power up, in which case the movie did a very poor job of getting that across. And what I mean by the Super Saiyan power up is, I'm assuming most of you guys have watched Dragon Ball Z, like the original Dragon Ball Z. In the event that you haven't, or I guess I should remind you guys, Goku gets the Super Saiyan power up first because Frieza kills one of his friends right in front of him. In addition to like all the other shit he's had to go through with this guy. Enough is enough. Fuck this guy. I'm going Super Saiyan. I don't know what that is, but I'm doing it. There's a very clear, he's struggling. He was going toe to toe with Frieza, but he's struggling. This Frieza guy is just getting on his nerves. He's killing people, threatening to kill people. He finally kills my friend, my best friend, right in front of me. Fuck. And then he goes Super Saiyan. there was a cost to that payoff. He had to pay something to get that. So the first power up, she gets captured on that spaceship where the scrolls, need to get their names correct, put some respect on their name, where the scrolls are hiding out. And initially, everyone thinks, all right, we solved it because it's the Kree blood that we infuse in her that gives her these powers, or at least lets her unlock these powers. We are the reason that she has these powers. We've taken them away. Good job, team. Don't shoot. But we did it. And she has like this mental battle. Regardless of what you think of the mental battle, there's very clearly like a cost, a struggle, and then a payoff. She breaks out of her binds, quite literally, gets powered up, and is a bit stronger than before. Alright, I can accept that. What I mean when I say this is like a Super Saiyan 3 power up, in Dragon Ball Z, Goku just kind of shows up and just, you've probably seen at least memes of it or something. This is Super Saiyan. This is Super Saiyan 2. And then no explanation as to why he has it, how he got it, no struggle we've seen, or a poorly explained struggle that we've seen. But, and this is what it's like to go even beyond. And he's exponentially stronger. In my personal opinion, that was bad in Dragon Ball Z. It's even worse here. Like I said, battle down to the Earth, guy shows up with spaceships. And she just gets stronger for no reason. Shit just strong for no reason. Blast through everything. This perfect form. I think I've been rambling so long I lost the plot.